Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And do subscribe our YouTube and Telegram channels. Now let's start our discussion.
Welcome to English Lecture Notes. Today's topic is The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. First read the poem, The Solitary Reaper, behold her, single in the field. Yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. No nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt, among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling ne'er was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things, and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain, that has been, and may be again? Whate'er the theme, the maiden sang as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and o'er the sickle bending, I listened, motionless and still, and, as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth is a romantic ballad poem that is set in a rural area. Wordsworth got the inspiration to write the poem from a village in Scotland that he visited along with his sister in 1803. This poem is about a day when the poet saw a beautiful woman working in the fields and harvesting the grain. She was singing a sad song, which had a great impact on the poet. The poet never saw the woman again, but the song remained in his mind forever. It is a simple poem that leaves an impact on the reader. It transcends mere description of a scene, delving into themes of beauty, isolation, and the transformative power of art. The poem is divided into 4 8-line stanzas, each with an A-B-A-B-C-D-C-D rhyme scheme. Wordsworth paints a breathtaking picture of the sunlit valley, and the solitary reaper working amidst the golden grain. Words like boundless fields, sunlit slope, and golden grain evoke a sense of vastness and tranquility. The poem engages not just the visual sense, but also the reader's imagination, making him feel like they're standing alongside the speaker, witnessing the scene unfold. The speaker's ability to carry the music of the song in his heart long after the physical experience has faded highlights the enduring impact of art. This suggests that true beauty and meaningful experiences leave a lasting mark on our souls, enriching our inner lives. Line-by-line explanation of the poem. First stanza, behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here, or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh listen, for the vale profound is overflowing with the sound. During one of the speaker's journeys in the countryside of Scotland, he saw a Highland girl working in the field all alone. In these lines of The Solitary Reaper, Wordsworth describes how the reaper was singing all alone. The poet doesn't want to disturb her solitude, so he requests the passerbys go without disturbing her. She was highly immersed in her work of cutting and binding, while singing a melancholy song. For the poet, he is so struck by the sad beauty of her song, that the whole valley seems to overflow with its sound. The poem begins with apostrophe. The speaker addresses the reader directly, commanding them to behold and stop here. The speaker uses present tense throughout these lines in this stanza. As a result, the reader may feel that they are standing next to the speaker, observing the scene together as it unfolds, listening to the reaper's song. He tries to draw the attention of the passers-by to the girl by calling them to behold her. The poet urges them to stop there and listen to her song, or to pass by gently without disturbing her in her singing. The poet urges the other travelers to listen to her music, as it is overflowing the deep valley. Second stanza, no nightingale did ever chaunt more welcome notes to weary bands of travelers in some shady haunt, among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling ne'er was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. In the second stanza of The Solitary Reaper, the poet compares the girl's song with nightingale and cuckoo. Here he compares that neither nightingale nor the cuckoo sang a song that is as sweet as hers. He says that no nightingale has sung the song so soothing like that for the weary travelers. For the song of the girl has stopped him from going about his business. He symbolically puts forth that her voice is so melodious and more than that of the two birds, famous for their voice. The woman's voice was so melodious, that the poet says that no nightingale would have ever sung more melodiously than her. These nightingales can be heard in the deserts of Arabia. Their pleasant voice is the only source of joy to the tired travelers, who take shelter in the shade while crossing these deserts. Her song generates a feeling of excitement and pleasure, that no other voice could ever generate. It was similar to the sound of the chirping of the cuckoo bird, that is heard in the spring season. The sound of a cuckoo bird is the only one that can be heard across the silent sea, to the northwest of the islands of Scotland. Third stanza, will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things, and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today, some natural sorrow, loss, or pain, that has been, and may be again? The poet couldn't understand the local Scottish dialect P, in which the reaper was singing, so tries to imagine what the song might be about. Here the poet wants to know the story behind the song. According to him, almost each and every song has a story or a motive behind it. The poet is curious to know what the song was about. He thinks that maybe the song was just a sorrowful song, about the battles that had already taken place, or the unhappy things that she may have faced. Given that it is a plaintive number, and a melancholy strain, as given in 6th line, he speculates that her song might be about some past sorrow, pain, or loss, of old, unhappy things or battles fought long ago. The poet thinks that maybe the song was about ordinary or day-to-day happenings which cause grief in someone's heart. Maybe the song was about some natural sorrows, loss of possessions, or pain caused by harsh words. Next stanza, whate'er the theme, the maiden sang as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at her work, and o'er the sickle bending, I listened, motionless and still, and, as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. In the 4th stanza, the poet decides not to probe further into the theme. He comes to the conclusion that whatever may be the theme of her poem, it is not going to end. Not only her song, but also her suffering sounds like a never-ending one. He stays there motionless and listened to her song quite sometimes. He enjoyed the song. Even when he left and mounted up the hill, he could still hear her voice coming amongst the produce she was cutting and binding. Though the poet left that place, the song remained in his heart, long after he heard that song. The song was as never-ending as her work, as she kept on harvesting the grain using the sickle. She bends over her sickle. Sickle is a tool for harvesting. As she works and sings, he carried the memory of her song in his heart. Even after he could no longer hear her singing, the music stayed in his heart. Poetic devices, rhyme scheme. The poem has been divided into 4 stanzas, having 8 lines each, and it follows a rhyme scheme of ABABCCDD. Apostrophe. It is the literary device which is used when a poet addresses an absent, dead or non-human as if the human were present. In 1st stanza, you can see, oh listen, for the vain profound, here he addresses an absent. Next. Consonants. The repeated use of a consonant sound in 2nd stanza. Alone she cuts, and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. The sound of the consonant, n, is repeated in these 2 lines. 3rd stanza, no nightingale did ever chant, the sound of n is repeated. Like that in 4th stanza, breaking the silence of the seas, the sound of s is repeated. In 7th stanza, whate'er the theme, the maiden sang, the sound of t is repeated. Stanza 8, I listened, motionless and still, the sound of s is repeated. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line, such as the sound of I in behold her, single in the field, and the sound of O and A in yon solitary Highland lass. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is an exaggeration used for emphasis or effect. Example, none could for a moment guess what the lone maiden sang, implying the profound mystery of her song. Enjambment. Enjambment is the continuation of a sentence or clause beyond the end of a line. Example, will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow for old, unhappy, far-off things, and battles long ago. Or is it some more humble lay, familiar matter of today? The sentences flow continuously over several lines. These poetic devices collectively contribute to the musical quality, vivid imagery, and emotional depth of the poem, making it memorable and evocative. Symbolism and metaphor. The poet makes a symbolic comparison of the young woman's song with nightingale and cuckoo bird for the melodious nature of her song, but it turns out to be hyperbole, for he exaggerates that her song is better than theirs. The poet very much captivated by her song that the valley is overflowing with the sound. Again, he says that the song looked like a never-ending as her sorrows. Rhetorical questions. The rhetorical question helps to make the point clear. For example, Wordsworth used, will no one tell me what she sings? That has been, and maybe again, and familiar matter of today, it to express his curiosity over the theme and meaning of the song the girl sang. Imagery. The imagery used in a literary work enables the readers to perceive things involving their five senses. For example, reaping and singing by herself, I saw her singing at her work, and more welcome notes to weary bands, gives a pictorial description of the young woman at work. He makes the readers visualize what he has seen and how he felt. Theme of the poem. The central theme of the poem, The Solitary Reaper, is the profound power of beauty and music to touch the soul. The Solitary Reaper's song, despite it is an unknown meaning, evokes a range of emotions in the speaker, demonstrating the ability of art to connect us to our own humanity, and the beauty of the world around us. The ending reinforces this theme, by emphasizing the lasting impact of the song. Even though the experience is temporary, the speaker carries the music within him, forever changed by its beauty and emotional power. This underscores the idea that art can leave a permanent mark on our lives, enriching our inner world and reminding us of the profound connections we can experience through beauty and music. The poem celebrates the beauty found in ordinary things, like a lonely reaper working in a field. The speaker is captivated by the girl's grace and the simple melody of her song, demonstrating the romantic belief that true beauty can be found in everyday life, not just grand spectacles. The vast valley creates a serene setting that inspires the speaker. Nature is not just a backdrop, but an active participant in his experience, reflecting the romantic view of nature as a source of inspiration and emotional connection. Theme of the poem. The poem focuses heavily on the speaker's emotional response to the song he heard. His feelings of wonder, longing, and sadness are central to the poem's message. This shows the romantic emphasis on individual emotions and the power of art to evoke them. Overall, The Solitary Reaper captures the essence of romanticism by celebrating the beauty found in the ordinary, the power of nature to inspire, the importance of individual emotions, and the lasting impact of beauty. The poem conveys a sense of nostalgia and longing, as the speaker reflects on the emotions stirred by the reaper's song, highlighting the universal nature of human feelings. Thank you for watching. If you want me to cover any new topics, please comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.